Hello and welcome back to another episode for the Project Seed Money podcast. I am your host, Sharissa Bradley, and I'm so excited today to be joined with Dr. Rachel Ivory. Thank you for being with me and thank you for sharing a little time with us today.
Thank you, Sharissa. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I want to jump right in and ask, have you always wanted to be an author?
I can say, well, no, but it's one of those things that kind of happened. And I think had it not been for grandkids, it wouldn't have happened.
Interesting. So, what was it about your grandchildren that brought on your writing career?
So, as a small child, when we would all go and stay with my grandmother for the summer, she was relentless about education and reading. And one of the things that she required us to do was, that summer we were to go to the library and everyone had to check out a book. And I'm thinking, oh, I want summer vacation. But she was like, nope, nope, we're still going to read. And so because of that, I found like a genre that I enjoyed. And then they couldn't stop me reading. And so I just developed that love for reading. And so now that I have grandchildren, I don't want to do the same. And I want them to enjoy reading as well. And so I have one grandchild that we're going to be reading together. She lives on the East Coast. So her and I are going to be reading together.
Oh, I love that. I love that so
Yeah.
much. I think that's so beautiful. And one thing that I try to bring up in almost every one of my episodes is the aspect of legacy. And when we write in
Yeah.
our own stories, we're leaving legacy. When we're writing in to share other people's stories, we're sharing legacy. And even you're sharing like your love of reading. That is the
Hmm.
legacy that you're leaving. And I think that is beautiful.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. And I wonder what was the path then? So you're making these books. What did you decide to do for your publishing path?
So for my publishing path, what I wanted to do is I wanted to develop a series where children could explore careers and imagine what the future could be like. When we were in grade school, we used to have like career days where people could bring in their parents, and it was always a postal carrier, a doctor, a lawyer. And these parents would come in and share their careers. And so we were exposed to a wide variety of careers early in life. And I don't think that's something that they currently still do in schools. So through storytelling, I'm hoping that my books can introduce professions in a way that inspire curiosity, confidence, purpose. And I just want to help a child, see it, believe it, and become it. So that's really my passion behind the book.
Oh, it shows so much. And that is, I don't actually know for myself. I never attended any type of career day of any sort. My kids are homeschooled, so we try to expose them to quite a few different things, but I don't think I had anything like that. It was just kind of the
Exactly.
top things, right? Teacher, nurse, doctor, lawyer, and you didn't really know about any other professions that were even out there.
Correct, correct. And so I have 22 books so far, and the series is called I Want to Be. So it's a child's name with a different profession. So I have a lawyer, a welder, I think a firefighter, an environmentalist, an accountant, name it, pick it. I've got different professions. Some may require college, some may require technical school, and some may require no college at all. Because we know that every child has a different, experience with, oh, I want to go to college. Or, no, I don't think I want to go to college. So it kind of helps guide them through that process.
Oh, that's so amazing. So what did you end up doing once you knew you had these stories and you knew you were going to do this series? It sounds like maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you know when you started that you would do this many and so many more in it? Like you would just try to do as many careers as you could?
I was set on careers. I had like some careers already lined out. But as I started writing and publishing, like all of these other careers kind of popped in my mind. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I still have at least 4 careers right now that I've already written down. They're going to be my next one. And they're inspired by people that I meet. So, um, I have a chiropractor, and I was like, I don't have a book about a chiropractor. So I'll be developing one on that. I met a nurse. I think we were at a restaurant somewhere. We were waiting, and I met because I'm always interested in what people do. And I said, "Well, what did you do in your career?" And she said, "I was a nurse for like 45 years." Writing down nurse. And within my community, I'm involved in a book club. So we read a book every month. The next month we come back and we talk about it. So it's just my love for reading and education. It started in childhood.
Oh, with your grandmother, which I just love that so much. My grandma gave me a love of cookies and black coffee.
It's, I love that.
I got my
I do
love of
love
reading in
that.
other places, but my grandma did give me some very useful things as well.
Well, at least the cookies, I know the cookies are good.
Yeah, I do. I'm obsessed with them. I don't know. It's because of her.
Oh, I
So I
love it.
see on the screen Ivory Publishing LLC. So then for your projects, as you were doing this, did you start right away with your own imprint, or what was like that first book like as far as getting it into the world? And then maybe elaborate a little bit with like what you decided to do subsequently.
So I already have the idea for the first book. So I had written the first book, and then I said, well, I want to write more books. Well, now what am I going to do? So then I had to start to research. So I said, you go through the pain of trying to find editors, developers, things like that. And I was like, okay, now not that I don't have that kind of time, but it was also a financial, decision. And I said, I think I can do this. And so what I did was I started researching. And here's the thing, I have nearly 38 years in public service, right? So my years were in leadership training, workforce development, mentoring others, and that's always been a core part of my work. So I said, I can do this. And so that's how I decided to start Ivory Publishing LLC. So that was kind of the start of it.
Ah, I love that, and I love that most of the women I have on this channel, it's encouraging other women to write, but also there's so
Yeah,
much leadership. There's so many women professionals coming in and saying, "I can do this on my own. I want to keep
exactly.
control. It's just a little bit of research."
That's it. And like I said, with the doctorate, it's research based, right? So I've always known how to research, and I'm thinking, hey, that's my strong suit. So why not use it? So I'm just using my God given skills to, kind of further that because I definitely feel that, like for myself, with my grandmother starting it, I think that children are really, they're naturally curious about the world around them. So they're always curious. And so when they can learn about different careers, they kind of been, they begin to kind of connect those interests with real opportunities. So my grandson, he loved to take things apart. Okay, mom and dad aren't happy, but I told them, I said, let's stop for a minute. I said, that's how his mind works. I said, so let's not, don't stop him from doing that. He has an engineer's mindset. He has a mechanic's mindset. I said, so rather than discourage, let's encourage. And so, you can get, there's tons of stuff that you can buy out here where people can, where the children can take things apart and put it back together again. And that's what they did. And you were like, we never even thought of that. So I'm glad it happened.
It's always good to have a fresh perspective, some outside eyes. Like all I can see is I can relate to your daughter or your daughter-in-law or your
Yeah,
my son is that mindset of taking everything apart. And at some point I just had to say like, okay, well, all of your monster trucks are going to be broken because you don't know how to
that's
put
it.
them back together. But if that's what you want with the monster trucks, then who am I to tell you that?
Exactly. And I don't want to discourage it. We're different as parents, but I'm a grandparent now, so it's a whole different ball game. They get to do what they want to do. They get ice cream. And of course, when my son and daughter-in-law come pick them up, let me guess, you gave them something sweet. Well,
Me?
yeah, I'm the grandmother.
As it should be. As it should be. So while you were writing your
Exactly.
book, I wonder, did you face at any point any self-doubt?
I did. The self-doubt came when it got to the marketing piece. Oh, I am not a salesperson. So that I think took me the longest. Anything as far as written stuff, I could do that no problem, the research. But it was the marketing piece. And so many things have changed in marketing. And I'm like, I don't have a marketing background. And so I joined a group called Alignable. And so through Alignable, which is I'm going to call it a networking group, I met some business professionals that, were in marketing, skills that I did not possess. And so attended one webinar, and it was kind of like a speed networking thing where they would throw you in a room with someone for like 5 minutes and you'd have a connection. And I connected with a young man who is very interesting. He's an introvert and extremely shy, but he's an IT and marketing professional. And I was like, well, what an odd combination. I said, but, we talked and he said, let's meet. We met, and end of the story, he is now helping me to market. And so I am so extremely grateful to him and his company is Shy Marketing LLC. And it's really cute because he really is very shy. But in just talking, so I'm the face, he's the man behind the mirror. So it's just a really neat experience. So I did overcome that hurdle because I believe in going around mountains or climbing them if I have to.
Oh, I think that's so valuable. And one thing that I feel like throughout this whole interview that you've shared is you enjoy meeting other people and you ask them their skill sets. And it sounds like
I
you're
do.
really good at, okay, you have that, you can do that. You have this, oh good, you can do
Exactly.
that. And that's a skill.
Mhm.
That really is a
It
skill.
is.
Yeah,
It
I love
is.
that.
My husband tells me I could talk to a fly on a wall. I was like, "Oh, good. I could have a whole conversation with the fly."
How's your
I
day?
do love it though.
Yeah.
It's like a whole conversation.
I love that. So
I
I do
love it.
a couple more questions for you. My
Okay.
second to last question is where everyone can find you. And then I just have one question after that. So if you could share where everyone can find you, where they can find your books, and if you're on social media, those handles as well.
Sure. I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on LinkedIn. So my company's website is Ivory Publishing LLC.net. And once you go on there, you can actually connect to the Amazon page where the books are sold. So that the books are actually sold through Amazon. And just my handles for both Amazon and Facebook are both ivory.publishing. So the same for both. And then on LinkedIn, it's under the business name Ivory Publishing LLC. So that's how they can find me and the book.
That's perfect. And I will make sure to have those links in the description of everything. So it's super easy for people to find. I just have
Thank
one.
you.
Of course. I just have one last question for you, and that is, do you have any advice or encouragement for my audience? They are female authors, they're on the fence, and they just need that little push to keep going.
Again, like I said, we all have skills. My inspiration came from years of working in leadership and training. And so for myself, I saw firsthand how important career awareness is for people. And so I realized that as women, as working women, as mothers, aunts, you name it, we have a lot to offer. And it's really that first step. And so it's always that stuff that, oh, I don't think I can do it. Yes, you can. And you just have to get people that are going to cheer you on. My husband is my biggest cheerleader because he is like, when I told him, I said, I'm going to start this. He was like, okay, what can I do to help? And I'm like, oh my goodness, so having, someone behind you that can, help you. And even if you don't have that, well, like I said, you connect on some of these groups, you can find people to support you. So just came from the Women in Publishing Summit. So you enjoyed that. And so remarkable to meet you there. I was so inspired about what you do with Project Seed Money. And I'm thinking, yes, I'm thinking, how can I help her support her business? So for me, we help each other and we have to reach out sometimes when, we're feeling a little low, feeling a little down, and just reach out and say, hey, I need my cheer squad. I'm here to cheer for anybody who needs a cheerleader. So I'm an extrovert. I love cheer.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being with me
Yeah.
today and sharing so much with my audience. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you and thank you so much. Wishing you much success and trust and believe I'm going to put your name out there if you're okay with it.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode for Project Seed Money. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I will see you with another interview next week. Bye.